I'm Ashley Wright.
And I'm Malachi Gilmore. In today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in the form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We help them find it and the latest in the weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house. Before you think they have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The Smoky Globe was built as a tourist attraction as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and rests on its roof, and there's steel beams in the attic. Inside the house, there are beds screwed into the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes and an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom. Though it's not known if anyone has tried to have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Normally, a house like this would take 3 weeks to build. This one took over 4 months because workers kept getting confused by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of feeling sick and dizzy after a few minutes inside. We now cross over to our reporter, Makaidi, who is inside the house. How are you feeling, Makaidi?
Thanks, Ashley. I'm here with the owner of the house, Aroha Green, and I'm feeling spectacular. Thank you. Thanks, Ashley. I'm here with Aroha Green, and thanks, Ashley. I'm here with the owner of the house, Aroha Green, and I'm feeling spectacular. Thank you. So, what made you decide to build this upside down house?
Well, I've decided to have a house that's different to other houses, so I decided to build this upside down house.
What comment do you feel that the house makes about the state of the world?
The world is turning into an upside down place, and very complicated.
What are some of the challenges in the house that are upside down?
Well, everything's glued up to the wall, so I can't really get anything, and I have to bring a ladder into my house to get my clothes and that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Makaidi Greer for Oropi News, and back to you, Ashley, in the studio.
Thanks, Makaidi. Even watching that makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak, which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled using special tiny crystals that make objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects such as coins disappear, but I hope that it won't be long before they're hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible, one top scientist says. The possibilities are endless, and we are very excited. However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it just disappears. The inventor of the cloak said it appears they have been having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak, here is our on-the-spot reporter, Makaidi, with more on... Dean with more on... Frick.
Hello, I'm Dean, and I am with Braden, and he created the invisibility cloak. Hey Braden, I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Hi.
So what made you want to invent the invisibility cloak?
Well, one day I was in my office watching a whole bunch of kids run past, and they were hiding from their friends. And I decided, Well, if they had an invisibility cloak, they'd be able to hide easily.
Could you please show me how it works?
If I can find it.
Wow, makes you completely invisible. Anyway, what do you think this invisibility cloak will get you in the future?
I'm not sure, but hopefully it can do amazing things.
Could I maybe ever go?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Wow, it actually works. Anyway, thanks, Braden. And here's back with Ashley and Malachi in the studio.
Thanks, Dan. And now how's this for an interesting yarn? A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country. Thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters, these wool-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small jerseys and scarves under the cover of the darkness. Police say the knitted activities of the gang are illegal because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of woolen graffiti is growing and more public objects are being wrapped up every night. But the problem is, growing police say the warn that is if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be covered warmly dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. There are a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said. Today, so far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eyes of both the public and police. We go now to a secret location with our investigate reporter, Ryan, who have had an exclusive interview with one of the gang members.
Hi, thanks, Ashley. I'm Ryan, and joining me in this top secret location is a member of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Rip, and thanks for joining us.
Hi.
What led you into the darkness under the knitted underworld of the knitted graffiti?
Well, I've always enjoyed knitting and I like the fresh air at night.
Do you see yourself as a criminal?
No, because all I am doing is decorating the land.
Apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your woolness?
I'm not quite sure, but I'd like to cover more area of land.
What made you join the Midnight Knitters gang?
Well, knitting has always been one of my hobbies, so why not?
Thanks for your time, Rebecca of the Midnight Knitters gang. We now go over to Stevie and Jack with the weather update.
Thank you, Ryan, and good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather. Starting in the far north in Kaitaia, look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down to Auckland, there'll be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions, but those are the conditions and you'll just have to accept them. There will be no weather at the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday, but is expected to be back by the weekend. Napier and Hastings, the weather will sometimes be changeable and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen there. In the Taranaki region, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day, with no highlights at all. It'll be overcast and gloomy all morning, but things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all, and the day conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be extreme.
In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have good day
meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim, and reading newspaper. But try to stay indoors as the weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rainfall, some sensible wind, moderated thunderstorms, and some very angry snow. And in the lower south, Dunedin will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until morning when the late sun pop over for a visit. Everybody looks like sun.
That's all from me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. Now it's back to the news desk with Ashley and Malachi.
Thanks, Stevie. Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed the evening's broadcast.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Until then, I'm Malachi Gilmore.
And I'm Ashley Wright for Breaking News Oropi. Good night. Should we start waving?
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2. Take 2.